In the heart of the city, where the bustling streets carried the weight of dreams and despair, a community thrived beneath the shadows of towering skyscrapers. Among the throngs of people rushing to their destinations, a group often went unnoticed: the homeless. Their stories were woven into the fabric of the city, each thread a testament to resilience, struggle, and the harsh realities of life on the streets. Health, an often overlooked aspect of their existence, loomed large, fraught with challenges that compounded their plight. For many who found themselves without a home, the most common health problems were not merely the result of their living conditions, but also a reflection of systemic issues that had long plagued society. Mental health issues, substance abuse, and chronic illnesses were rampant, creating a cycle that seemed inescapable. The streets were unforgiving, and the lack of access to basic health care only exacerbated their conditions. Take, for instance, Marcus, a man in his early 40s, who had once held a steady job as a mechanic. A series of unfortunate events, including the death of his mother and a devastating layoff, sent him spiraling into depression. The weight of his grief was compounded by the realities of living on the streets. With no stable shelter, Marcus found himself battling anxiety and depression, often feeling invisible to the world around him. His mental health deteriorated, leading him to seek solace in substances that offered a fleeting escape from his pain. Marcus was not alone. Many faced similar struggles, where mental health issues intertwined with substance abuse, creating a complex web of challenges. The streets offered little respite, and the stigma surrounding mental illness often deterred individuals from seeking help. The cycle was vicious. Without intervention, many remained trapped in a downward spiral, their health deteriorating as they struggled to find stability. Chronic physical health problems also plagued the homeless community. Conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and respiratory diseases were common, often exacerbated by the lack of access to nutritious food and proper medical care. Sarah, a woman in her 50s, had spent years living in a makeshift shelter. She had been diagnosed with diabetes, but struggled to manage her condition due to inconsistent access to food and medication. The reality of her situation was stark. She often had to choose between buying food or her insulin. The stress of her circumstances took a toll on her health, leading to frequent hospital visits that only highlighted the gaps in the healthcare system. Despite the myriad challenges, there were glimmers of hope. Various organizations and community groups worked tirelessly to provide support and care for the homeless population. Outreach programs offered medical services, mental health counseling, and substance abuse treatment, aiming to bridge the gap between the homeless and healthcare resources. Mobile clinics roamed the streets, staffed by compassionate healthcare professionals who understood the unique needs of this vulnerable population. They brought not only medical care, but also a sense of dignity and respect to those they served. One such program was run by a local nonprofit that partnered with volunteer doctors and nurses. They set up makeshift clinics in parks and community centers, offering free checkups, vaccinations, and health education. The volunteers understood that for many homeless individuals, the act of seeking help was fraught with fear and apprehension. They took the time to build relationships, listening to stories, and understanding the complexities of each person's situation. Marcus found himself at one of these clinics one sunny afternoon. Initially hesitant, he was drawn in by the warm smiles and the welcoming atmosphere. After a few visits, he began to open up about his struggles. The nurse, a kind woman named Linda, encouraged him to talk about his feelings and offered resources for mental health support. Slowly, he began to see a glimmer of hope. With Linda's help, he connected with a local mental health counselor who specialized in trauma and addiction. It was the first step in a long journey toward recovery, but it was a step nonetheless. Sarah, too, found her way to the same clinic. After a routine checkup, she learned about a program that provided free meals and nutritional counseling. With the support of the clinic staff, she was able to access her medication consistently and received guidance on managing her diabetes. The small victories, understanding her condition better, having regular meals, and feeling cared for, began to reshape her outlook on life. These stories were but a few among many. The homeless community was not a monolith. Each individual carried their own unique burdens and dreams. While the challenges were immense, the support available through community organizations and healthcare providers was a lifeline. The efforts of dedicated individuals created pathways to healing, reminding each person that they were not alone in their struggle. As the seasons changed, so did the lives of those who sought help. Marcus, with the support of his counselor and newfound friends, began to envision a future beyond the streets. He enrolled in a job training program, rekindling his passion for mechanics. Sarah, empowered by her health improvements, began volunteering at the very clinic that had once helped her. She found purpose in giving back, sharing her story to inspire others facing similar challenges. The narrative of homelessness was complex, intertwined with health issues that required compassion, understanding, and systemic change. Yet, within the challenges lay stories of resilience and hope. The efforts of healthcare professionals and community organizations illuminated the path toward recovery, reminding us all of the power of support and care. In a world that often turns a blind eye, these stories served as a call to action, urging society to acknowledge the humanity of every individual, regardless of their circumstances. As the city continued to pulse with life, the voices of the homeless echoed with strength, reminding us that healing is possible, even in the most unlikely of places.